Greetings. Till next we meet.
Good luck, friend.
Hey, I'm Bay. What's up? What's up, man? You get orientation today for a new job. Oh, good luck with your new job, Devin. How you doing, Einbay? Einbay, I pumped up my stream resolution to 2K, so it should look better. Oh, level 14! What do I even get at 14? Let's take a look. Oh, man, we get Thorns, Wrath. We get Bash. Pure Poison. Oh, were you able to tell by looking at it, Einbay? Were you able to tell? Did it look nicer? I hope so. I've tried everything I could to increase the quality of the stream and nothing was working. And finally I said, well, you know what? I'll just push it up to 1440. Yeah, well, that's good. That's a good thing then. No, I'm not downscaling anymore. Hey, what's up, Dale? I used to be downscaling. I used to do 25. Here, I'll show you. What I used to do is I used to go. Let's see. What I used to do is I would have the base canvas resolution, which is basically what we're, the game's running at this resolution, and my desktop, my monitor is at this resolution. But then I would scale it out to 1080. So, thinking 1080 would be better quality, right? It's not as high, but it wasn't better quality. So finally I said, you know what? I'm not gonna downscale it using the filter to 1080. I'm just going to keep it to the same resolution that the canvas is at, you know, the game and the desktop are running at. And then we're just going to push out a 1440 stream. I think it definitely seems to have made things look better, you know. I'm good. I've been doing stuff today. I was helping my wife with some stuff, walking the dog, ordering groceries, hanging shelves in the in the bathroom in the office. Just we were doing lots of stuff today, so I wasn't able to get online till right now, but I should be good now. It's in a bottle. Scroll of intellect. Depends on the codec. Well, but I tried that. Here's the thing, Einbei. I tried that and it didn't do anything, right? So the codec I'm using is the NVIDIA NVENC, right? I tried both. I tried both codecs. I've tried so many different things. I've tried pumping up I've tried going to 1080 here on the output, which is going to the downscale filter, and then and then basically going into the output here and pumping the bitrate up to 9,000 or even higher, and nothing I did made it look better. Nothing made it look better until I just finally went in and just said, you know what, don't downscale it anymore. Just run it at 2K. What is it, QHD? I think they call it. Yeah, I tried so many different ways. I watched so many videos on it too. Like I watched literally like about 20 different videos on how to get rid of the pixelation, how to improve the quality. I even tried outputting downscaling to like 760, like much lower resolutions, and none of it helped. Like none of it helped. No matter how much I downscaled, no matter which filter I used, it always looked pixelated. So screw it. This seems to work, so we're just going to leave it this way. Did I miss the bobber? I think I did, didn't I? Did. I was looking at the other monitor. You found the picture? Okay. Guess I don't get to see it. Can I see? Oh, no. Yeah, I like it. Yep, perfect. Thank you, baby. Fishing is the worst profession. It may be boring to do, but it's incredibly useful. Like, it's incredibly useful. But you know what, Einbei, Dale, the best fishing implementation is New World. Amazon's New World really nails fishing. I mean, it's actually enjoyable. And believe it or not, I find it enjoyable to fish in New World. So they did it right. I mean, Black Desert would be second place on that list. But New World's fishing is really good. I'm just trying to finish. I've got a fishing quest here we're trying to knock out. So we've got the gaffer jacks here. We still need 5 more. So I may want to use my bobber probably. Do I have one? Yeah. I have not done Guild Wars 2 fishing. Is it really that good, Einbei? Wow, I have not done Guild Wars 2 fishing. I wish, I love Guild Wars 2. I think it's a great game. PvP is really fun. I've talked about Guild Wars 2 so many times. I don't know. I just don't like the dungeons are really bad. And it doesn't. I think the biggest thing for me that hurts Guild Wars 2 for me is we don't have the Holy Trinity. We don't have. I like clear-cut roles like healer, DPS. I like that. And Guild Wars 2 doesn't really have that. And that really bothers me, to be honest. But so I like if we took a list, right? Let's see. Let's do an exercise, guys, right? Let's say, how do we do what did I just do? Oh, that's just rescaling the size. Actually, we kind of have it. So, like, if we think... Yeah, well, that's probably my biggest crime in a lot of games. That's probably my biggest crime in a lot of games. So if we talk about MMOs and we think what are the things we need to have a good MMO? Great UI, great minimap, great world map, great level design, great art style. What else do we need? We need good combat, right? Good combat. Oh my god. And we need, what else do we need? Good professions. Quality, professions, meaningful. With unique, meaningful upgrades. Or whatever. What else do we need? We need a great, you want a game with a good story, right? Great story. Has to have a great story. Hey, what's up, folks? So if we think about like these things, now let's think what MMO has this. Guild Wars 2. Great UI, Guild Wars 2. Great minimap, Guild Wars 2. Great world map, Guild Wars 2. Right? So Guild Wars 2 wins number 1, 2, and 3 in my opinion. Great level design. This one's going to be interesting. New World has great level design. Guild Wars 2 again. Guild Wars 2 I think has the best level design. I'm going to throw in World of Warcraft. Because I think World of Warcraft levels sometimes can be really, really quite good. But I'm going to throw in New World for the elevations. Elevations really well done. I like that. And water. Well, use of rivers. And water, I think, is really good too, and also cliffs. Really good use of cliffs too in New World. Yeah. Good grouping system. So yeah, I think if we talk about the good grouping systems, we have to talk about the good community. Community. It's like community systems or systems. I cannot type. Systems that... It's because of the way I'm sitting in my chair. Systems that promote good community, right? So we're talking about... we're talking about grouping, or partying. Chat. Chat functionality. What other things promote a good community? Events, right? Events. They could be world events, guild events. Guild Wars 2, or not Guild Wars 2, Black Desert does a really cool thing where you have different events in Black Desert that you as a guild try to accomplish. Like, oh, I want to go farm a certain amount of lumber, and if you farm a certain amount of lumber as a guild, you get experience, and it helps rank the guild up. So I think that's a great system, and you don't see that in a lot of MMOs, to be honest. You think Guild Wars 2 has the best story delivery? Yeah, I'm really bad about completing stories. That's a really negative. I'm really bad at that. But we talk about events. I'm gonna say, you know, Black Desert guild events, I think are worth mentioning here because they're really good. Delivery. So Ironbase says that Guild Wars 2 also has a really great story delivery, right? And of course, great story. We know that Final Fantasy 14 has a great story. And we talk about systems that promote good community. We talk about partying. I mean, most of the MMOs have similar party systems, I think. You think Star Wars: The Old Republic? Star Wars: The Old Republic has a good. Yeah, Rift has the. You think Rift has the best fishing? Holy shit! I don't think I've ever fished in Rift, Oak. I don't think I've ever fished in Rift. So. Blacksmithing, you know, tailor, you know, etc. So I will say that gathering, I would like to mention something. Lineage 2 does something. Lineage 2 does a really cool thing that most MMOs do not do. And what Lineage 2 does is that you cannot, as one player, craft. You cannot, as a single player in Lineage 2, craft anything, okay? You can't, because in Lineage 2, you can either be a gatherer that gathers regions, which are used by crafters to make stuff, or you can be a crafter who uses those regions to make things. So you can't, by yourself, make anything in Lineage 2. You are fully dependent upon another player to help you, right? So what you do is you have someone in your clan who is a gatherer that you know, and you say, hey, I'm an armor smith, and I need these materials, and that person says, hey, I can go farm these materials for you. You know what I mean? And I think that's a really, really unique system. So I actually like it. I think a lot of people don't like it, but I actually like it. Unique professions that require more than one person. You know, so that's really cool. Let's put that under. I'll put that here. So, does the Bloodsail Buccaneer server only go up to a max level of 60, or does it? The Bloodsail's Buccaneer server, it only goes up to 60 erratic, but then you can convert your character, I think, to a Burning Crusade character. I'm pretty sure. So let me go to the loading screen and we'll take a look at it. I have never finished. Yeah, send me a video. I've never fished in Rift, and I played Rift, and I love Rift. Rift was a great game. I never fished in Rift. Never did. I didn't even know Rift had fishing. So here on Bloodsail Buccaneers, let's say we got this character. If we show available clones, so here, yeah, I guess you can't do it now. It doesn't look like you can. Like, see, this character is active in Burning Crusade. So when they rolled out Burning Crusade, I think they gave you the option to take characters. Now this is my original hardcore character that I leveled to 60 as a warrior. But I think when Burning Crusade came out, they gave you the option of when you first logged in after Burning Crusade Classic was implemented, and that said, do you want this character to remain in vanilla, or do you want this character to be Burning Crusade? And so yeah, it looks like you cannot. So if you're playing a Bloodsail Buccaneers, you are stuck at 1 to 60. If you wanted to play Burning Crusade, I think you would have to. I mean, do they even have it anymore? Hold on a second. Let's see. I don't even know if they have it. They've got Wrath of the Lich King or World of Warcraft Classic, so I don't even see TBC anymore. I'm not sure if you can straight up play a server. I don't know if they have servers that are just Burning Crusade. It doesn't look like they do. You're either Classic or Lich King. See? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, no. It looks like they're not. It looks like you're not going to worry about that. So back to our Star Wars had different choices during stories. Yeah, I mean, a Star Wars story was really good. Great story, Final Fantasy. We got to put Star Wars: The Old Republic in here, right? Because that's really got. I actually enjoyed the story in Star Wars: The Old Republic more than Final Fantasy, in that the choices I made actually affected my character in a visual way and kind of in a. It was cool how it affected my character. But Final Fantasy has a really good story too. But I like and Anbale probably is on board with this too. I actually like the sci-fi aspect of Star Wars: The Old Republic. I also like the IP. I mean, I like Star Wars. I think Star Wars is a really good intellectual property. So I enjoyed the story in Star Wars: The Old Republic more than I enjoyed Final Fantasy, just because I really like the lore and the world of Star Wars a lot more than Final Fantasy, because I'm not that familiar with the Final Fantasy lore anyway. But yeah, it is designed like a single player game. But I do think that Star Wars: The Old Republic had a really great story. Story delivery. We're gonna see Guild Wars 2. We also, I think we have to put Star Wars: The Old Republic in here too, because I thought it was delivered. All the voice acting and stuff were top notch. Citizens have pro good community. I mean, really, all MMOs have this chat functionality. I can't think of any MMOs that stand out. When I talk about world and guild events, I think Black Desert does a great job. I also think Black Desert guild events, and Guild Wars 2 dynamic world events are great. It's one of the best MMOs. It's funny when you look at this. How many times I'm mentioning Guild Wars 2? You would think that I think Guild Wars 2 is the best MMO, and I do think it's a great MMO. But Guild Wars 2 really misses out, for me anyway, because it doesn't have the Holy Trinity, and it doesn't have meaningful gear for PvP. You're doing PvP and you don't really get any meaningful gear for it, so that kind of bothers me. So. Oh man, my bobber disappeared. Hey, what's up? What's up, Das? How's it going? I never played KOTOR 2. I never played it.
What can I do for you? Off with you.
Yeah, I upped the output resolution to 1440, and I think it does look better. According to all the videos I watched on streaming, you should be able to downscale your resolution and get less pixelation. But for whatever reason, that just did not work for me. That did not work for me. When now I'm pushing out 2K res, 1440, and it seems to look better than when I was pushing out 1080, which I thought it should have been the other way around. But I don't know. No, man, it's all the quests the same. New Worlds. There's so many things in New World that are bad. The thing that New World does really well is the world itself looks great. The level design's really good. The foliage is some of the best foliage you're going to see. The bow combat in New World is the best MMO bow combat that I know of. It's really good. The bow combat's fantastic. The spear combat's really fun, but the weapons in general don't have enough depth to them, and the questing is really completely rudimentary and super basic and very boring. Cyrus, you okay over there? I might want to get my cat a blanket. Actually, give me a second, guys. I want to grab a blanket from my cat to lay on. He doesn't look very comfortable. I'll be right back. And if he's comfortable, it's good for me because he's not going to jump in my lap. I'll be right back. Yeah, some of the new updates are pretty good. I rolled on the... It was funny, they rolled the new servers for New World. Like the fresh servers, and everybody left the other servers and played on the fresh servers. So I remember Lazy Peon did a video, and he was like, all the time I spent in New World and all the stuff I have is pretty much useless because the server he was on is completely dead. And I was just like, oh man. I gotta stop doing stuff because I keep... Oh no, I guess the bug bonus is still there. I don't see it. Okay, no, we got 7 minutes. Ashes of Creation. I'm interested in Ashes of Creation. I talked about that last week. They still need to fix some things in Ashes of Creation. I mean, the combat needs a lot of work. I do really like the way the cleric was going. I thought some of the spell animations for the cleric looked really pretty. You know, doesn't mean that they're great, but they looked pretty good. I thought the combat on the cleric was, I mean, the way he swung the mace with the cleric, I thought was okay. Obviously, the mobs weren't scaled up much because they would go into encounters with like 4 or 5 mobs, and they really had no problem killing them. So that was something that maybe they just did for the stream. But the world's starting to really look good. You know, going to Unreal Engine 5 obviously was a big win, and it was a good idea for them to do that. Oh man, the cat's happy now. I put a blanket down for the cat here. I'll take a picture so you guys can see this because he looks very happy. So you have to keep the cat happy, otherwise he'll try to climb in my lap while I'm streaming, and it makes it a little bit tough. Alright, Discord. There, so I put this blanket on top of my chest here just now for the cat, and he went from like being very uncomfortable sitting on my pajamas there to being on this blanket and instantly being like, oh yeah, I'm happy now. So keep his little bitch happy. What did I do? Did I just take a healing potion? Oh, I just healed myself, that's all. I was like, what happened? Yeah, it's actually really cold in Florida right now, which is fantastic because I love cold weather. Good for the computer, good for me. You heading out? You gonna play some Valorant? Alright, man, DOS. Have a good one, dude. They should stop changing the combat system. They need to stick to action combat. Yeah, I agree with you on... I mean, they definitely... Well, they have a hybrid, though. The combat system right now in Ashes of Creation is a hybrid. Which I don't have a problem with the hybrid. I mean, I think of Guild Wars 2 combat system as kind of a hybrid because you have the ability to turn on action cam or mouse look in Guild Wars 2, and it works really well. So I think New World has, or not New World, Ashes of Creation has something pretty similar to that. So I don't have a problem as long as they implement it correctly. You know, like WildStar is a perfect example of a game that tried to do too many things with combat, and it really hurt them in the beginning because the combat just was really buggy and glitchy, and it wasn't smooth because they kept trying to do tab targeting and action combat. They kept trying to make the community happy, and they listened to the community too much with WildStar. And that was what really hurt them on the release. And then when they started figuring stuff and getting it fixed, it was too late. Yeah, WildStar questing was really fun. I'll take some snow. I like snow. Alright, we are done. This quest. No more fishing for a little while. Hopefully. We got the fishing quest done. We were able to level up our cooking, so we're good to go there. Don't I have a staff? Crappy staff. Yep, see you, man. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I can finally... I should be able to play now. I've been interrupted a lot in the last few days because we just moved and the apartment's a mess. You know, we're trying to get everything settled and straightened away. So I've been jumping on and off stream a lot. Yeah, WildStar totally like was the game that could have been great, and just NCSoft's pretty good at killing games before their time, and they killed City of Heroes, and that was a great game. That was I don't know why they did that. So Yeah, there is, but it doesn't work. I mean, I've got the project up. You know, I can launch the project and get it running. I think. Where is it? Here. It was the Nexus Forever, but I don't know. Like, I mean, when's the last time anybody's even commented on it? Actually, yeah, there's been a few comments, but yeah. So, well, I mean, I've got, this is the Project Nexus Forever, but I have no idea when this is gonna, when this is ever gonna get good. But when it does, we'll definitely play it. I'll definitely check it out. I hope they get the private server working, but there's really, I think, just one guy was working on it, so it was, the progress was really, really slow because it was just one person. Neverwinter Online. It's my girlfriend's fault. She was talking. This guy's saying it's his girlfriend's fault he died. Yeah, Neverwinter was pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of games do because they don't give enough people. I mean, that's the one good thing about Ashes of Creation is, I mean, Steven claims it's not going to be pay to win, and because he's very much against that, he's advertised and said that over and over and over again. So, and the fact that he's putting up a lot of the money, I mean, that guy must have a lot of money, but the fact that he is really the driving force behind it is a good thing because, initially I didn't think it was because when he started doing that, like, multi-level marketing scheme initially with how the references to the game and getting people involved, I thought, well, this guy's kind of a shyster, but it turns out he's not. He seems like a pretty decent guy, so. What, I got 2 of these guys?
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Sadly, I played Dungeons & Dragons Online only a little, and I couldn't really. I mean, it was okay, but I played it much later than when it first came out.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Like Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons & Dragons Online would have been games I really wish I would have played when they first came out.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Well, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons player from back in the 80s. I played D&D back in the 80s when I was in high school, so I'm a huge fan of D&D. I'm a huge fan of D&D as basically the major influence for what MMOs, why MMOs even exist, is it comes from Dungeons and Dragons really. And so if an MMO can be like Dungeons and Dragons, I'm usually very excited. The problem is we haven't had an MMO implement D&D in a way that to me that really feels almost like that did like when we played D&D. Like to me, like if you look at, see if we can find so one of my favorite RPGs is Stormbringer. Wow, why is this in Steam? That's hilarious. So Stormbringer is basically like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's based on the Michael Moorcock universe. But you can see there's all kinds of really cool stuff. There's different types of languages that you can learn, different types of perceptions. There's stats, knowledge. I mean, you could look. Do you know how to make a map? Do you know first aid? Do you know how to evaluate treasure? Do you know musical or navigation? There's a lot of stuff in Stormbringer, and the cool thing is about creating the character in Stormbringer also. Stormbringer. Oh my god. What the hell? Your connection is not private. Man, why is my connection not private? What the hell? Stormbringer Kingdoms. Oh, this is a crappy map. Give me like a good one. Interest? No, that's not. Well, at any rate, so Stormbringer, there's a lot of different. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like Conan of Samaria, right? So Stormbringer, these are all the different like, kind of peoples that populate the Young Kingdoms. You've got the Shazar, you've got Jakor, Darajar, Tarkish, the Marshes of the Mist, the Weeping Wastes, where are they at? The Weeping Wastes. They're around here somewhere. The Forest of Truth. So all of these areas have different people that live in these areas, right? So there's the Argamiliars, there's the Lormir, Filkar, of course there's the Meldabonians, and in the Isle of the Purple Towns, here's the Meldabone, I'm sorry, it's right here. Isle of the Purple Towns would be a different type of people. There's the Sorceress Isle, the Silent Lands. So there's all these different people, the Pantang. So this is a different character kind of race you could play. This is different one. So there's a lot. There's probably about 15 different ones. So when you create a character in Stormbringer, it's really cool because you pick the race, but each race has really unique traits to them. And like, a lot of them have a higher willpower, higher strength, higher dexterity, those different types of stats. But some of them have unique characteristics too. Like if you grew up in the Weeping Waste or whatever, you might have like some sort of survival skills already because you've had to live in a desert with no water. So you've got the ability to survive in harsh conditions. Your constitution is going to be higher. But we don't really have any MMOs that I think really do a good job of kind of like what it's like in Dungeons & Dragons to sit down at a table, pull out a sheet of paper, and take out three six-sided dice and roll stats. You know what I mean? I would love to somehow try to implement it in a better way that it almost feels like you're playing tabletop RPG, but you're playing an MMO. And there's been games that have tried to do it. I mean, like Baldur's Gate, I think probably is. The problem with like games like Baldur's Gate is they're not fully 3D. They're like isometric, and I really dislike isometric games. So the games that have gotten the closest to feeling like Dungeons & Dragons are almost always isometric, which I don't like. So that's one of the problems. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to sit down and really think about it and ponder it. But I do think there's definitely better ways to implement D&D into an MMO that makes it feel more like you're playing D&D but in an MMO environment. But Neverwinter was pretty decent. Yeah, Neverwinter was pretty decent. And the problem with Neverwinter is, again, it was more like a hub-based game. You were basically like on rails. It didn't have a massive open world, Bay. So if Neverwinter would have had, like, if they would re-release Neverwinter with like a massive open world and kind of implement a little bit better, their combat was pretty good in Neverwinter though. It was cool, and the story, like I really liked Neverwinter. What I disliked about it was whenever I played it, there weren't that many people playing it. It didn't feel like the social aspects of the game, the social systems were as good, the community-based systems, and also the world just wasn't open world. It was very just small little areas that you had to zone into, and that's But I liked it. I played the game and I enjoyed it, and I definitely think it could have been a much better game. Imagine playing Neverwinter in a world like that looked like Amazon's New World, right? Imagine Neverwinter in a game world that was as high polished as like Amazon's New World, and how cool that would have been. It would have been super fucking cool, right? So it's just so funny. That's why I was kind of making that list in here in Visual Studio Code, is that we have elements. Like if we think about what's the perfect MMO for us, there's MMOs that do certain pieces perfectly, but there's no MMO that really seems to get them all right together. Like there's MMOs that have good UI, there's MMOs that have good story, there's MMOs that have good dynamic questing, there's MMOs that have good talent trees, but there's not one that really gets it all right. Like Rift had, like, we didn't put in here like character progression, right? So character progression systems, right? And when you think of character progression systems, I think of faction or enmity. Did I spell that right? And enmity, of course, is Black Desert. Faction's going to be like World of Warcraft, WoW, and other systems. We think of talents, or skills. Of course, you can think of stuff like and talents or skills. Pretty much any MMO with talents, and then you've got skills. You could think of something like, even like, it doesn't even have to be an MMO. I mean, Skyrim has a skill-based system. ESO has a skill-based system. I think New World has a skill-based system, pretty much. New World, kind of skills and talents, and then we think about what game did the talents best. I mean, without a doubt, in my opinion, Rift is by far and away the best talent, best talent system. And if you think about skills, I don't know. I wouldn't even know. I'd have to think about that one, but. Did I open this up? Pathfinder. I never played Pathfinder because, again, isometric. It's the common theme. It's like the common theme on D&D games that are put into on the computer is that they're isometric. And a lot of times they're even turn-based. The perfect Matrix simulator. No, I mean, a game doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good, right? It has to. So a game doesn't have to have the best fishing, but it has to have good fishing. Does it have the best cooking? But it has to have good cooking. I mean, like fishing in Black Desert is good. It's not great, but it's good. So if an MMO comes out and the fishing is as good as Black Desert, I'm pretty happy. If it's as good as New World, I'm super happy. And apparently Guild Wars 2, but I haven't done fishing in Guild Wars 2. So you see what I'm saying? I'm just saying that we have MMOs that are really good in certain areas, but they really are really bad in certain areas. To me, Guild Wars 2 is really bad in dungeons. It's really bad in PvP as far as like character progression in PvP, because there really isn't any character progression in PvP. It's it's just cosmetic, which I think is stupid. It's really bad in the fact that you don't have like the Holy Trinity. You don't like, to me, class identity in Guild Wars 2 feels a little bit off. Yeah. Oh, an action MMORPG. What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? And hopefully I spelled that right. Yeah, actually, Baldur's Gate 3 is one that I'm kind of been going back and forth on whether I want to play it. Let's see. And I watched Wolfheart quite a bit. And so here's what Baldur's Gate 3 looks like. Wolfheart's been playing Baldur's Gate 3 for a long time. But again, it's this type of camera style that I just don't like. You know, I don't like it. But if they could just implement a game like Baldur's Gate 3 in a fully 3D world like World of Warcraft or something, I'd probably be pretty excited about it. You know, you can play some WoW retail. All right, Ambe. It was great. That's cool. Yeah, I would have to see the camera, you know that. I've got an eye, I just don't see her. She's got to be over here. There she is. This is gonna be ugly. She can hit pretty hard. Well, if you play action, I might try it out, but we'll have to see. Miss. Almost level Agent Prior. Which hey RJ, which version of WoW? Are you talking about retail WoW? Are you talking about, I guess, level 80? You'd have to be what, Cataclysm?
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I guess I meant Wrath. I meant Wrath, not Cataclysm. Sorry, I meant Wrath, not Cataclysm. Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry, I wasn't reading your level first. So that's cool. Wrath of the Lich King. Sorry, I'm not. I guess I'm not awake yet. I'm old. What can I say? That's cool though. Protection Warrior, Wrath. I think Protection Paladin is considered to be the better tank in Wrath, if I remember correctly, but their prod's still pretty good. GDKP. That's why I don't play Wrath. That's why I don't play retail, that kind of shit. GDKP and all that. I don't really prescribe to that kind of nonsense.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, as far as I understood, the Protection Warrior wasn't really that great in Wrath, but I don't know. I thought that Paladin was supposed to be the best. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's good that they're not like flooded, you know, with the GDKP. Oh, you're in Pagel? That's the server you're on? That's the server I was gonna start classic on, was Pagel. I think I did start on Pagel, and then we went to Westfall. We were gonna do Pagel, and then it got so full they rolled out new servers. And I started on Westfall, and then the people that were gonna be in the guild kind of had a flake out, so I ended up, I think, just going somewhere else. I don't even remember. I think I was on Westfall for a while. I think I've got like a level 54 Paladin on Westfall. And then I ended up going to Grobulus, because Grobulus has turned out to be a really good server. Without any problems. A DK. $300 gold. Cool. But they're not dropping a lot of relics, are they? Yeah, I think I've got a protection paladin, Wrath of the Lich King. I don't remember what level she is, like maybe 58, 60 something. I really don't remember. Oh, did you say you're gonna put? Did you put that video in Discord for like rift fishing? I was curious what that looked like. Oh, you did. You did. All right, I'll watch that video later. Thanks, Oak. I'll definitely check that out, man. I did not know that there was even fishing in Rift. I love Rift though. Rift is a great game. It's one of those games. They were supposed to put out like an update, but it turned out to be like a lame update. I thought they were gonna do like a huge update. I would love to see Rift like. I would love to see Rift get like a huge a huge like update to the graphics system. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean I love Rift, right? Do I have it installed? I don't know. I think I do. Pretty sure I have Rift. I hope I do. Of course, we're updating Steam. When are we not updating Steam? All right, I'll see you, Dale, man. Have a good weekend. You okay, Cyrus? No? No, you can't sit in my lap. That's why I put the blanket over there, Cyrus. Cyrus, no. No, you have to lay over there. No, no. Come on.
I am honored.
What's that? Gloamwood. So, the cool thing in Rift, what is this ability? I don't remember. Some of these I don't remember abilities, I don't remember. Interfere. The cool thing in Rift is you actually have, let's see, macros. So you can see I'm using a macro here, this one. So I'm basically casting Pacifier Strike, Retaliation, Cast at Focus, Retaliation, Jolt. So basically I have all this stuff set in a macro, and I just spam this key, and this builds up my charges, and then I have finishers that I can use. I have heals that I can use. I have AoE abilities I can use. Of course, you have all your typical buffs, but this is this is one of my characters in Rift who, and what I love about Rift is it's very here we go, is it's very fantasy. I mean, when you're walking through the world, the trees and the forests, you know, they look good, but it's a little laggy. Like the servers don't really. I mean, you can feel the movement isn't that great. You know, it's a little laggy, but some of the zones in Rift are just really cool. Let's see if I can find. There's this one city. The Gloamwood is one of my favorite areas. I don't see where I think it's over here. Yeah, anyways. But yeah, cool game. I love Rift. Nice interface too. It's got, look at me, it's got a really beautiful editor. I mean, and it's had this for a long time. I mean, you know, every MMO should have this, right? So Rift is really up there as far as UI. The UI is really good. And for a game that's as old as it is, you know. And of course the soul system, right? You know, obviously the soul tree, super cool. Gotta love it. Anyways, it's one of those games that I hope never. I just hope they don't ever shut it down. I hope Rift stays open for another 10 years because every so often I like to go into Rift and play it just because I like the game. It's a really good game. And it's too bad that it's not popular. There's still people that play it. Like on that server that I play on, I think it's called. I think it might be Deepwood or something. There's still, like, I'm in a guild on that, and there's still like 20, 30 people in that guild every single day playing it. So. What does uwu mean? What does uwu mean? I don't even know. Ooh? It seems like I should know what that means, but I don't. In your case, Cyrus?
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I have to get something to eat soon. I'm getting hungry.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Alright. I gotta put socks on, my feet are cold. It's cold in this house.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Alright guys, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna get some socks on because my feet are freezing. I'm gonna grab some potato chips, some dip, and I'll be right back after that. So just hold on a second. Quick 5-minute break. I'll be right back. All right, so sorry about that. Just I had to help my wife. She was hanging curtains. So like I said, we just moved into this new place, so I'm doing a lot of stuff last few days. So that's why I get interrupted on the stream like I'm doing stuff. But actually, I had some pizza. We went to Mellow Mushroom last night, so I have some leftover pizza. So I just heated up a piece of Mellow Mushroom shiitake. This is called their shiitake something pizza. Mm-mm. Loads of topping. This is shiitake. It's got, let's see, it has caramelized onions on it. It's got some weird cheese on it. I'm not sure what kind of cheese this is. And of course, it has shiitake mushrooms, which I love shiitake mushrooms. And the crust is made out of natural spring water. That's why their crust is so good. They use like natural spring water, and the crust it's got some sort of wheat in it. It's like a wheat crust mixed with something else. It's really good. No, it's got. Did I say it's got spring water? The jewels. I'm gonna head back to town just so we can vendor. Although we do have the fishing dude down here, we might be able to, I don't think we can vend. Oh, yeah, we can. He's a vendor. Let's vendor hit to him. Yeah, don't forget about the fishing guy. Where is he? I think he's to the right of me. I hope. Right up here. Maybe? Okay, I guess I missed the fishing guy. I don't see him.
I am honored.
I don't know. And I
Goddess, watch over you.
nah. Any thoughts on leveling a hunter? Well, they're easy to level. Just make sure you keep your pet skills trained up. Make sure you have the right macros set up. Yeah, just so you can control your pet. Hunter's fun. Easy to level and fun to level. Easy to make money too.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Good thing is this zone is really, like, this zone is dead. There's like nobody here. The leveling is really easy. There's like no competition for the mobs I'm trying to kill, which is so rare. In hardcore, you're always typically fighting for people. We've got, there's 108 people online right now, so that's at least 108 people leveling hardcore, so. I guess they're not doing Darkshire. I love Darkshire. I mean, not Darkshire, but,
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I love Darkshore. What are you wearing? What the hell? Where did you get those wings from? Hey, Einbei, where did you get the wings from? Oh, that's Shadow. That's when you do that. That's when you cast that ability, right? As a Shadow Priest or something? Like, it gives you that. That's right. Cool tabard. I like that tabard. That tabard's neat. Yeah, Shadow Priest is really strong in Age of Dragons. The Age of Dragons. Alright, I can chill, sip my Coca-Cola for a little bit here because we do need to do the Electropeller quest. I think that was it. Yeah, it is. It does, of course. Yeah, but I heard it's really good in PvP, like S tier. Pretty sure S tier or A tier. Good in PvE as well. So I hear. I haven't played. That was one of the classes I thought about playing. I was really enjoying the Arcane Mage. The Arcane Mage in Shadowlands in Age of Dragons is actually really fun.
Sitting up tall, watching lights fade. Cool summer night, I'm a place in Spain. Hello Mary, why so sad?
Yeah, I mean they totally missed out. You see, the guy in the guild says I feel like Blizzard missed out allowing humans to be hunters. I mean, of course they did. Why would a human not be able to be a hunter? Tell me that, Einbei. In the lore of World of Warcraft, why can't a human not be a hunter? I just don't get it. That's what I don't get. You know? Yeah, fun is all that matters, man. People like get on my case all the time about, oh, you're jumping from here to there, and I'm like, well, I do what I do because it's fun, you know. I'm playing something because it's fun, or I'm looking for something to play because I want it to be, you know, I want to find something that's fun. So that's why, you know, I mean, WoW is an old game, been around a long time. It's difficult to have fun doing the exact same thing you've done thousands of times before. You know, like doing hardcore is fun because it's a challenge. It's like the challenge of getting there makes it fun, and that's why MMOs fail in today's world, because there isn't enough of a challenge from day one to the, you know, there should always be a challenge in everything you do in an MMO, but there isn't. There's no challenge in MMOs except for maybe like high level rating. Well, I think it was deliberate too. I agree, and I understand that. And if you look at like something like, um,
Let it die. It's alright. It's alright. It's
if you look at something like this, I mean, this is done for a reason, right? Like in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, the only class that can be a ranger is an elf, a halfling, or a scar, which this is good. I mean, you're trying to make people play the different races, so I mean, I understand that. But to me, humans should be able to like see here in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, a human can play every class. To me, this is correct, because again, I think of like Dungeons and Dragons. Like human is always like known as the benefit of the human race is that we're very flexible, that we can learn everything, that we can do anything, you know. So a human should be able to play pretty much every race, you know what I mean? And that's why I think this is Pantheon actually did it pretty good. The only thing with Pantheon that I didn't agree with is the Scar being I didn't agree with the Scar being a monk. I just don't understand how a Scar, who's like kind of a tribalistic, aggressive culture, is gonna be a monk. I don't get that one. Like, Paladin, Dark Mirror Paladin, Dwarf Paladin, Elf Paladin, Human Paladin. The Halflings, though, look, the Halflings can only be... Oh, yeah, I do. Hold on a second. Granger's getting his Christmas present, guys. I want to go out and watch the dog open up his Christmas present. He's getting a huge dog bed. Like a really big dog bed. So let me go out and check out the dog opening up his Christmas present, and I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Being able to switch classes on the same character is such a mess. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. We're gonna talk about that when I get back, because I'm not sure I agree with that. Hold on a second. So of course we give the dog this big dog bed for Christmas. And what does he do? He thinks it's a big freaking chew toy. He just starts chewing on it. I'm like, it's a bed. You lay on it. And he just keeps trying to chew it. What in this dog? This dog is a couple cans short of a six-pack. A couple sandwiches short of a picnic. You know? A couple cards short of a deck. A couple pencils short of a portrait. I don't know. So you were saying being able to switch classes on the same character is such a massive immersion. I'm not really sure. Like, I think it's how you switch classes on the same character, right? Like, so when you think of, again, World of Warcraft, or not World, when you think of Dungeons and Dragons, or you think of like Lineage 2 or something, classes are like able to, you know, they're able to like level to a certain point and then say, okay, like I'm like a half elf fighter ranger or something. They level to like level 20 as a fighter, and then they choose to stop leveling at level 20 as a fighter, and then they choose to start leveling as a ranger, and then they level maybe the ranger from like 1 to 30. Now they've got a level 20 fighter, level 30 ranger. It's kind of like a multi-class. So I'm not sure like what you're saying about like switching. I mean, is it just like I'm going to max a character to 60 on one character, now I'm just going to switch? So I guess you're talking about Final Fantasy, how Final Fantasy does it. I'm not sure I like how Final Fantasy does it, to be honest. I kind of prefer the more traditional Dungeons and Dragons way of doing it, which is to say you level a certain character, certain class to a certain level, and once you stop, there's no going back. Which is kind of doesn't really make sense in a way. So I'm not, you know, let me think about it. I must have missed it. I don't know, man. I gotta think about it. I mean, I understand why D&D did it, because like, well, we don't want if everybody could level multi-class and could go back and forth, you'd just be max level on whatever classes you leveled. I don't know. I gotta think about it. How many of these electro powers we have? We got 4. We need 8 more.
It's too late for us now. We've gone. It's gone
Ooh,
now.
kind of interesting. Does it?
warm house, cold hearts now. You, we couldn't be more perfect. The
So you're saying you think that having to replay the whole game just to try another playstyle is very archaic. I'd much prefer someone put some effort into tying characters' power skills to something else than what they were on creation. To me, I think I'm a little bit different. I'm definitely different. To me, there isn't enough tie-in to the character creation based on, like... to me, there should be more lock. I want more lock. I want it to lock more into... So I completely, I think, disagree with you. I think that characters and their races and professions should be based a lot on the lore of the character race, right? Like, again, if you were born in the Weeping Wastes, you're not going to be, like, you're probably not going to be a mage, because there wasn't, like... I mean, how do you learn how to cast spells and stuff in the Waste where there's really nothing but, like, you know, scorpions and weird creatures? I mean, you're more likely going to be a hunter, or a fighter, or a healer. I don't really... You know what I mean? To me, I'm trying to think of how does the character's background tie into the profession, meaning the class that they choose. And to me, that's better. Because I want everything in the world to make sense. You know, I want there to be a reason why a town's called why a town's called Whitebridge. I want there to be a reason why dwarves don't like orcs. I want there to be a reason why dwarves have stone form. Why do dwarves have stone form? What's the historical reason? You know, I want everything to have a reason. To me, it ties the whole world together, and it builds the world as a true character and true personality. You know what I mean? And I think games are getting away from that, and I think that's one of the things that's really hurting MMOs, is we're getting away from that because people want convenience. They keep pushing convenience. So, like how Final Fantasy is like, well, you just level up a mage, and then you go do some quest, and now you can level up a freaking cleric, and you do another quest, and now you can level up, and now you can just hit a keybind to switch between all three classes on the fly. You know, I mean, it's great and it's convenient, but it doesn't really play into the lore very well. Well, like I just said, I think if a character grew up in a wasteland of sand and desert where there wasn't much water, and you know, how are they going to learn magic? You know what I mean? I mean, I can see where you could build the lore in there so that they could learn magic, but you know what I mean? Or how are they going to become like a thief? What are they going to steal? You're going to go? I mean, it doesn't seem as likely as you would grow up a thief in a desert biome as opposed to as if you grew up in like a large Stormwind type environment, like a Stormwind city. And more likely you might grow up as a thief because you grew up poor and you had to learn how to steal to survive. So to me, that makes more sense, that thief as a class for humans, as you know, who grew up in like a specific area. It makes more sense, you know. But I think too many choices around MMOs are made around convenience and around trying to make the game fit a mass audience. And whenever they do that, you end up with a game that doesn't last. You know, it's popular for 3 months and then it just dies down. And we've seen it time and time again. You know, even games like Lost Ark that were super popular. I mean, it was more popular than some other games, but the popularity died down after like 4 or 5 months. It started to die down. New World just doesn't have the content. But if you build an I guarantee you, if we built an MMO around the tenets that I come up with for an MMO, like if we built that MMO, I guarantee you, and it was done correctly, it would succeed, and it would be hugely popular, because people would enjoy the fact that there was actual challenge, that there was actual, like, everything made sense, that classes had an identity, you know, that people had a role, that you couldn't just go solo shit. You were required to lean on other people. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was Rift earlier. Yeah. And I don't care how many times someone says that they don't like slow leveling, or they don't like this or that, it's too difficult. If they, I mean, the MMO audience is a stupid audience, a fickle audience. It's a sheep mentality. MMO player base is a sheep mentality. Once one person proves that something works, then everybody just jumps on the bandwagon because it's like, oh, this person worked, let's just follow him. You know, once the meta is established, everybody follows that. Even though there may be a lot of other ways to do it that work just as well, but well, who cares? Well, we don't care. This guy already did it. This works. I'll just do that. You know. Or if someone says, I don't like the combat because this and this, then people tend to glom onto that. Like, oh yeah, the combat in that game sucks because of this, this, and this. That's kind of an internet mentality altogether, to be honest. But all you have to do is force people into a situation where the only way they can succeed is to put real effort, is to skill up, is to get good, you know, is to accomplish challenges requiring you to actually maybe work with other players. And when you achieve those accomplishments, I guarantee you, you're gonna be happier for it, because it actually took some cooperation. You know what I mean? Yeah, Rift has some pretty. Yeah, I liked some of the Rift stuff was good. Rift was great when it was popular. Yeah, when it was really popular, it was actually really fun. You know, being able to just go out into the world and try to take on rifts, because the rifts got more and more difficult with each wave, and depend on how many people joined the public group. And sometimes you'd be able to accomplish really difficult rifts because, you know, a lot of people joined, and when the game was new, there was always tons of people to join in. So, but then they turned it, they nerfed it and made it easy, and well, they did make it easy. Rift is actually still can be very challenging, but what they did was they enabled you to enter like a public raid queue, where you go into these raids, and they actually never end. It's like you go through a raid, you finish it, and it ports you to the next one. And if you just stay in the group, you just keep going, non-stop. It never ends, and you make mass money, you get mass gear. It's crazy. I did play Arcade, and it was really fun on release. The worst part about Arcade was the land grab was ruined by people who hacked the game. So there were these bots that went out and claimed land before you could even physically take your character to the spot. So you physically couldn't even get to where the land was to claim it, because someone somehow created a way to teleport to that area or something. And so all the land was taken like before you got a chance to get to it. So that like kind of ruined the game for me and for a lot of people, because like, well, one of the biggest selling points of Arcade was to explore the world and to find a really cool piece of land and claim it as your own and grow your own crops and all that kind of stuff. And that was ruined by the cheaters and the bots. But the game itself, the combat and the characters were actually really fun. And at the time, the graphics were really good. The gliders were really cool too. I love the gliders. Okay, we just need like 3 more, I think. Yeah, 3 more electropellers. I mean, what's really funny is I think most MMOs are best at launch, and it's not just because the player population is really high at launch. That's obviously a big part of it, but a lot of it's because the MMOs at launch are almost always the most challenging versions of those MMOs. You know, as the MMOs go down as they get older and older, they nerf the content. And one of the worst MMOs was Terra, because Terra, when it launched, was a really, really good MMO. In fact, it was one of my all-time favorite MMOs. And the content of the dungeons, like even like the level 15 dungeon, was pretty hard. I mean, like level 25 dungeon, like Sinestral Manor. I mean, some of those fights were really tough. And within just like 3 months, they started nerfing the content because all these Care Bears were crying that BAMs were too difficult and dungeons. I would keep dying and it's too difficult and blah 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 blah. And so, Enmase or whoever decided to start nerfing content as early as 3 months after the game came out. And it ruined the game. Another game, Black Desert. Black Desert, when it first came out, like to max level, actually took some time. It took like a week. Like it took like a week of grinding mobs, hardcore, 8 hours a day. Maybe even like 2 weeks. It might have even been like 2 weeks if you were grinding mobs like nonstop. And then of course they nerfed that. Now you can get max level, I think, in like a day.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I didn't realize this guy's like level 18. Let's not take on the level 18 mobs. Probably not a good idea.
I'm Did you think I wouldn't care when I did?
Level 17, shit.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I'll kiss your face.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Maybe 3 inches east, then we'll begin.
Where are these high level mobs coming from?
I sit down, then walk away. Meet me halfway.
Oh, come on.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, shit. On, run, damn you. Oh my god. Ugh. You know, it really hurts not having any healing potions. I can't believe this is the first time I've ever leveled anywhere near this high without looting a single healing potion. Can you believe that, Imbe? Level 14 and I have not looted a single healing potion. Normally you get healing potions around level 10. All the mobs I've killed. Maybe it's because I'm not killing a lot of humanoid mobs, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a little bit crazy. Not be getting, you know, healing potions. Because that's in situations like that, you're just like, oh, no big deal. I'll run away. If I get in trouble, I'll just pop a healing potion. But I don't have any healing potions. So it's kind of scary. Is that what it is? Hard 70 days druids. But I mean, I don't think I've ever leveled to 14 without getting a healing potion drop. Not in recent memory, anyway. Not in any kind of recent memory. Ooh, 100 damage. Boom. Alright, you want to die? So be it. Ooh, I need to repair my gear.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Emrys. Time to have some shears up. Time to level that that night elf, huh? Nice. I will try my best not to die. It's been I've had about 3 or 4 close calls. But the closest when I was level 7, I dropped to 4 health, but since then the closest I got was maybe down around the, 100 health. Onions.
Till next we meet.
Kill the den mother.
Greetings.
Greeting.
Go in peace.
How big a threat? Talk to thunderous wind weaver.
How may I help?
Yes, the Tower of Anthalax.
Great to meet you. Keep your feet on the ground.
Your feet on the ground.
What brings you here, fair man?
Oh, level 15.
What brings you here? Del Madris.
What brings you here? May the stars guide you.
Peace be with you.
Ishnu Allah.
Hello. Asha Fellow.
Greetings. Off and away.
Ishnu Allah. Good luck.
Oh, getting tired. I don't know why I've been so tired. I've been really tired lately. Not enough sleep, I guess. Stomp the Womp has joined the guild? What kind of a name is that? Not fade away. I thought I repaired my gear. No? Guess I didn't.
Ishnu Dagla.
Ugh.
Peace be with you. May the stars guide you.
No, character specific. Shit. Why is that not a default setting? Why is character specific not the default setting for keybinds? I go over this every freaking time I forget to flip it on, because every time you create a new character, you start changing keybinds, it fucks up the keybinds for any other characters, man. It's stupid. It's like character specific keybinds should always be the default. I don't know what idiot at Blizzard thought that made a good idea to not have a default. Hi, baby. What you doing?
What brings you here? Good luck.
How's he gonna take a nap?
Goddess watch over you.
Your mom's a nap. Yeah, I'm not a bitch. What?
How may I help?
Which
I
one? The
will
black
light your
one?
path.
Okay. Alright, guys, I'm gonna take a break. I will, and just take a break. Maybe get up something to eat, take a nap. I'm tired. I will come back in a bit and keep streaming. Talk to you guys later.